Media and Politics Forum, a discussion on celebrity culture and the politics of image. Today's event is co-presented by UST Tiger TV and held in partnership with the Loyola Schools Office of the Ombudsman, Radyo Katipunan, Trending.ph, and Now You Know PH. I'm Angel Martinez from 3BS Comtech, your host for today's forum, and we are broadcasting to you live on Zoom and Facebook. So I know all of you are excited to listen to and learn from our speaker for today, so I won't keep you waiting any longer. Allow me to introduce today's esteemed guest. She has been active in the showbiz industry since 1990, with some of her most notable works being ABS-CBN shows Tayong Dalawa and Ang Probinsyano, and critically acclaimed indie film Changing Partners. Currently, she serves as president and CEO of Actor, a nonprofit organization and community for empowered actors. Aside from her career in media, she has been increasingly political over the past few years, actively expressing dissent towards the Duterte administration and speaking on issues such as press freedom and mental health in online protests and webinars. For today's forum, she will be giving us her 2 cents on celebrity culture and how it plays into the politics of image. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a virtual round of applause for Ms. Agot Isidro.
Hi, good afternoon. And thank you very much to the AQ3 class and Professor John Neri for the invitation. Thank you. I'm happy to be in the company of progressive young minds, and hopefully I'm able to add to your vast knowledge and find some takeaway from today's talk. And if not, maybe I can sing you a song para umulan naman at mawala ang mainit na panahon. Anyway, thank you again for attending these activities. We encourage you to do and to attend all these talks and webinars. And for today, even if you don't have a choice. Seriously, all we ask from you is to keep an open mind. Listen, keep an open mind. And if you have questions, please ask. We encourage you to ask questions. Thank you once again for the invitation.
We're very excited to have you here with us today, Ms. Agot. Thank you so much. But before we formally begin, I would just like to remind the audience that our Mentimeter link is currently open to your questions. So just send over whatever you have in mind using the link that has been sent in this box. All right, so now that it's out of the way, Ms. Agot, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. I was tasked to talk about celebrity, the culture, and the politics and image and all that jazz. No, I will not be talking entirely about my story, but will just provide an overview of the culture in general. So let us start by defining celebrity. Slide 1. The definition of celebrity, ginugol ko to. Dictionary says, very general yung definition niya, famous person, yun lang. Or the state of being well known. Cambridge, Oxford clarified it a little bit, saying that someone who is famous, especially in the entertainment, Cambridge John, or a sport, sabi ng Oxford. And the best one for me is the Wikipedia. I know it's Wikipedia, it's not to be trusted, but I just find it interesting because it's not a person, but it's a condition. A condition of fame and a broad public recognition of an individual or group, or occasionally a character or animal as a result of the attention given to them by mass media. Very apt for today, for these times. Okay, so let's go to slide 2 and just provide a history of the culture here in the Philippines now. And I think it also goes for other countries or cultures as well. Before, the celebrities here in the Philippines started out as actors. They're famous because they're actors, they're performers, they're singers, and later on the sports people also became celebrities because they are now being shown on TV, the basketball. You ask your moms and your dads, meron mga Chris Toyota, mga ganyan. They were big celebrities, the Jaworski and all that. They appeared on film, they appeared on TV and live shows. With our prior definition, politicians were also celebrities. They were famous as they were seen on TV also and read on newspapers or printed materials. But celebrities before were only seen and heard on the medium, no, that they operated on. They were seen as very mysterious, enigmatic. Nobody knew how they are in person. Very little is known about their personal lives. So those actors who played contravida roles were judged as masamang tao. Kasi yun yung nakikita nila sa screen, di ba? And yung mga bida, yung mga inaapi, sila yung mababait na mga tao. When sometimes in reality, the opposite is true, di ba? But sometimes only. And their public image was controlled by either the network or the film outfit or even their management who manage their careers. Most of the time, their personal views and opinions on several issues, especially political issues, were not really known. They were not talked about. Nobody really cared, or they did, or the celebrities themselves didn't, dabble much into politics. So, yun. So later on, naging option for retirement of all these, especially the big actors and the sportsmen, yung politics. It was an option to retire for them. Anyway, I have been in the business since 1992. So I've lived through this period, no, until the present. So we go to the next slide. And because of social media, everything became really fast, no, because of the technology. The actor now can be seen and now has to be seen in different platforms. Diba? Aside from the traditional, which is the TV, the film, they have to contend now with the digital platform, the YouTubes, the Kumu, the TikTok, the Facebook, the IG, and all that. And then there was also the blurring of different lines. No, there were actors are getting into singing, and then the singers are getting into acting. So ako yun, kasama ako doon. And also there was a blurring of their professional lives and their personal lives. It is not enough that the actor does the work that they are tasked to do, like singing and acting. They have to, kumbaga, open their public lives, diba? And you can see this with mga product placement when they kunyari nag-i-Instagram sila, tapos kunyari washing of hands, yung ganyan, kunyari si Isa Calzado nag-wash ng hands, tapos nakikita mo meron siyang safeguard doon. So blurred na yung lines ng, where does the professional and where does the personal lives magkahiwalay. Wala nang ganun. Parang minimix na nila yon. So the focus also is not about the project anymore or the art or the craft that they are in, but more on their personal lives. And this is very good for all the chismis and, for the society, because they really love the idea of scandals, diba? Gustong-gusto nila yung pinag-uusapan nila yung mga skandalo of all these mga celebrities. So, so now this gives way, the social media, the technology gives way to the rise of the celebrity culture at lightning speed. Ang bilis. Anyone who has now a mobile phone can become a celebrity, and it became free for all. Lahat pwede. So we go to slide number 4. So now the actor needs to rebrand or innovate or adapt to changing times, diba? Celebrities now have their own YouTube channels. They handle their own accounts. Sila ang nagmamanage ng kanilang mga personal SOCMED accounts. It gave them the platform to show a side of them that is not work-related. It makes them more interesting. They become now multi-hyphenated personalities, diba? So we have, kunyari, Agot Isidro, actor, kunyari lang, actor / wife / mother / entrepreneur / TikToker / plantita, diba? parang ano na sila, multi-dimensional personality, not anymore just an actor. It's not enough that you're just an actor. Kailangan marami ka pang ginagawa. And they also don't rely on press con or any official statements because they already have their own platform. Meron sila that they can actually full control of what they want to say, how they are perceived. Yon. They just post it there in their SOCMED accounts. They have full control of how how they want to be perceived in public. So that goal is to be more, to make them more accessible or make them more relatable. So, yon. Okay, then we go to slide number 5, which brings us to the rise of the new celebrity. So, so now the celebrity is not anymore just the actor or who you see on TV. Hindi na ganun eh. Since it became free for all, we each have our own platform. You guys have your own platforms. You have your own SOCMED accounts, and you have your own podium to play around with, diba? The word authentic, relatable, reachable, kasi nga kailangan parang totoong tao, diba? Hindi ka na aspirational, hindi ka na enigmatic. The more they know about you, the more relatable you are. And social media only requires short productions, 160 characters, 45-second videos. And given these conditions, they have to be entertaining, very entertaining. So note also that the same applies to streaming platforms, yung mga Netflix and View on all that. Content has to hook you for the first 5 minutes. Otherwise, isang click ka lang ng remote, you're gone. Diba? You move on to the next show. That's why all these content have to be extremely funny, innovative, sensational, and the goal is to become viral. This gives way to opportunities to become, for just the regular people to be celebrities in their own rights. Yeah. So my personal observation lang, since they want to be controversial in the beginning, talagang todo, di ba? Especially with the politics now, tira, and very, very brave. Yung wow, ako minsan wow, ang bangis naman ito. But as soon as they become viral and, they get invited to all these different activities or they get more well-known, pumapasok na may konting sponsorship and all that, medyo nagsiscale back na sila sa sa pagkabangis. So, which is it's a natural progression naman. Well, especially pag naka-experience na sila ng backlash. Aatras na ng konti. So anyway, these celebrities are products of viral engagement. So within a day, one can become famous if you have like 20,000 likes and all that, and you get retweeted so many times and people see you more often, diba? So, and most of the time, the resonance with the audience, because nga they appear, ay, totoong tao siya. Parang, especially kunyari, kung si Mimia kaya, bakit ako hindi? Meron siya ganun. So you see all these mga sassy girl. Ngayon kasi I'm just on Twitter eh. I'm naka-detox ako sa social media ko, sa FB and sa Instagram. So even my Twitter is private. So yun, so yung mga sassy girl, yung mga Makoy Dubs, Pipay Kipay, Jam Magno, even Mocha Usan started. Teacher Dan is my favorite. So yun, meron silang, gagawa rin ako ng content para sumikat ako. Something like that. Because it's our obsession with becoming famous or becoming a celebrity. So oftentimes we hear the word totoong tao siya. Kasi hindi siya celebrity, totoong tao yan. So this gives way to the preference of a more real, more authentic personality. So maybe this is just my takeaway, no? Maybe this is why people also voted for a totoong tao president last 2016. Ayaw na nila ng parang ayos na ayos. Gusto nila parang parang dyan lang, parang tito mo sa kanto, parang ganon. So, but how oxymoronic, because these days, di ba, we can manufacture authenticity. Diba? That is really you manufacture, especially with all this YouTube content of the celebrities. In a way, gusto nilang authentic, but it's all quite manufactured. Okay, let's go to slide 6. So why are actors getting into politics? Easily. Yun nga, it's a option for retirement. They want to stay relevant. Nilapitan sila ng mga political groups. And for political groups, the ease of entry into politics, ang bilis because kilalang kilala ka na, especially the big stars. That's why they go national. Senator kaagad. Ganon. Kasi kilala, all from aparito hulo, kilala sila. They don't need to spend money on introducing your candidate and all that. And most of the time, easily manipulated. That's just my take. Okay, and if the candidate, the actor candidate is known already, parang tapos na boxing, kilala na siya di ba? Easy, it's brand recognition. You don't have to keep mentioning the name and all that. Diba? Doesn't matter if qualified or not, basta kilala. And then we also have the use of the narrative to appeal to emotions. Okay, so si Senator Manny Pacquiao, boxer, kilala na, but then why did he win the election? Because nga, number one is the brand recognition, and his story appeals very much to the Filipino teleserye narrative na parang rags to riches, ganti ng ape, di ba? Rise from the ashes. He could be every Filipino. He could be every Filipino talaga. Magpursige lang. That's his story. Some celebrities also have entered the political arena prematurely with no prior experience, or any background on public service. They're just banking really on the name recognition. And the new media format, the social media format, is very kind to them because you can manufacture being authentic, anything, any image at this point, diba? May mga strategies dyan, and they just only have to come out with sound bites, maliliit, because now of the short format, media format. So these are questions that I just when I was doing the outline, parang I just asking also myself these questions: should celebrities be political? The pitfalls of taking a political stand and responsibility of celebrities. Okay, we go to the next slide. What now? Diba? To engage or not to engage? Especially with the political climate that we kind of have to speak out. Sa akin talagang there is celebrities or anybody, they need to be political, especially celebrities nga, because it comes with influence, and hopefully, for me, if there is an imbalance in the system, it needs to be called out. Diba? That's where the influence of a celebrity should be put to good use. Although it really, exposes us as easy targets, we are prone to being called out, diba? Bashed, canceled, diba? And more dangerously, we have more to lose because nga of certain laws that they approved already, the anti-terror bill, diba? Where freedom of speech is curtailed, when yung mga ganon. This is the reason why most of the actors are not vocal, because it's really out of fear. Takot sila. Unang-una, takot silang ma-call out, and then ma-single out, and then makulong. And also, marami din dyan na may mga sponsorships. Meron mga endorsements. And a lot of artists, unlike ito, bakit sa Amerika, di ba? Bakit sa Amerika they're so outspoken and all that? Actors here more often than not, they go into the business of show or entertainment for economic reasons. Wala naman Kasi they are theater arts, but then most of the actors who are working now didn't really study acting, di ba? It's really for economic reasons kasi madaling kumita sa business ng ano. And then, you know, meron naman silang talent, meron naman silang galing. So some also, some do their politics or they're not speaking out. They do have kumbaga stand. May mga political stand. They just do it quietly. They don't want to be vocal about it, but they do influence their parang the people around them. They just don't do it publicly. Some, sadly, are not just interested because maybe out of lack of knowledge or they are really apathetic. So next slide. So yun, I just put there, the political arena has become a bad comedy show. It's a bad comedy show with absolutely no script and bad actors attempting to do improv work and failing massively. And worse, you know, the audience, which is us, we're not laughing. So I think everyone should be engaged and should engage in discussions, but there has to be preparation. The same way that an actor is prepared to go on stage, diba? I mean, there should be knowledge on and mastery of the material. They should do their research. They should discuss with other players. Check and double check. And of course, don't fall for fake news, diba? Go for the legitimate news sources, watch the legitimate shows and all that. And keep discussing with people, like-minded or not like-minded, better yet, di ba, opposing. So sa actor, we come up with our stand on certain issues that affect our industry. And we, number one is the ATB, the anti-terror bill, and the shutdown of the ABS-CBN network, the Kapamilya network. We came out with an official statement, pero we encourage our members to post if this issues resonate with them. But it's not mandatory. We're not gonna ask them to do it and all that. Only if they feel comfortable. Yung degree nga of engagement nila nasa comfort level ng iba-ibang comfort level ng tao. So, especially with controversial issues, di ba? Actually, we were rumored na to be funded by a political party, pero there's no truth to that because we do not have funds, as in absolutely no funds. So this is just me, no? I believe to counter the bad, we really have to shine the light on the good. Keep shining on the good until it is bright enough that everyone can see. And lastly, since our society is celebrity-centric, the desire for famous or for fame is strong. Nasa, I think, innate sa atin yan. Gusto natin sumikat o magpakita or whatever. And so much so that we have political figures on TikTok, right? And some they use BTS, oh my gosh, the blasphemous in their tagline. And we have a senator who's obsessed with taking selfies. So one must keep in mind that being a celebrity comes with great responsibility. It is important to be aware of what goes on around us. Ultimately, none of the definition that we said earlier that on the first slide qualified goodness with being a celebrity. Okay. Wala dun sa definition yung celebrity and goodness. So let us not veil rudeness, misogyny, megalomania, fraudulent behavior with the notion that one is authentic and therefore should be celebrated. Sometimes, hindi ibig sabihin na kapag ikaw ay totoong tao, ikaw ay mabuting tao. You just have to know the difference. So that ends my presentation.
Thank you so much, Ms. Agot, for sharing your story with us. We're very honored to have had like an insider's look at the media industry and how it closely intertwines with politics, especially now in the modern age. So I bet our audience has a lot of thoughts about what has been discussed so far. Very excited to see what they have to say. But before we move on to the Q&A portion, wow, Miss Universe, let us thank our sponsors for today. So today's event is co-presented by UST Tiger TV and held in partnership with the Loyola Schools Office of the Ombudsman, Radyo Katipunan, Trending.ph, and Now You Know PH. So at this point, we may officially begin our open forum. Do remember that the floor is now open to your questions. As stated in our house rules, we would like to request that you keep your microphones off, although you can send anything that you have in mind to our Mentimeter link, which we left in the chat box. So let's see what we have here so far. Okay. So for our first question for you, Miss Agot.
Yes.
This is relatively safe, nothing too spicy yet. So is there a limit to what being a celebrity is? Especially since the internet has overstrained so many things already. Like the internet is very oversaturated with content. So what exactly defines a celebrity now?
As I've said, anyone can be a celebrity, di ba? I think now the definition or parang yung sukatan, the measurement of being a celebrity is the number of likes. I mean, and retweets and reposts and all that. So I think it will just be that way for a while. Ang problema lang with that, no, it's also the lightning speed, ang bilis viral, di ba? Ganun nga, as parang COVID lang siya, mabilis umakyat, but then mabilis din bumaba. Unless you are unless you have something to say or you're very talented, di ba? Then you can sustain yung pagka-celebrity. Otherwise, if it's just a viral thing, it can be just a one time, maybe, a few months thing, and then you're just gonna like fade away. Yun lang ang pitfalls ng celebrity with sa dami, 'di ba? Sa dami, ang hirap salain. So you have to really stand out and you have to be able to stay there. You have to either keep innovating, keep churning out new content, or talagang yon, talent. Yeah.
You had also mentioned the importance of celebrities using their platforms to spread awareness on certain social issues. So one question we have here is, does a celebrity's intent matter when they talk about political issues, or is it enough that they speak up about them?
I think for celebrities to be actually speaking about political issues now, may intention yun. Because it's not something that you just, diba, say and just for the sake of, kunyari, being viral. I don't think they do that because they know the consequence, especially if you're speaking against the administration, diba? I think they know what it takes. They know the consequences of them speaking out. So I don't think that they take it lightly, that they just do it for the sake of, maki-join. Hindi. I think they know the intention is there. I think they know what they're getting into. They've thought about it, and parang it's a decision to speak out. The same way when I spoke out, it was a decision. Yung parang, it was just, a random rant. It was just a random rant. And then all of a sudden it became viral. And so at one point, I made it private. But then after a while, someone said, Agot, why should you? I mean, that's your, I'm like, yeah, that's, there's I think I'm still free to speak out, di ba? And I felt so strongly about it. Yung parang natakot lang ako ng for maybe like 30 minutes. And then I said, okay, I'll just put it, I'll make it public, and then it stays public. So it's there on the record. And I knew that I was going to get hit because everyone was worried about me. And I did. But here I am. I'm still standing. Diba? So, yun, it's a choice. There is the intention there. I don't think that they do it just for the sake of joining the bandwagon. Yeah.
We also have a particularly controversial, if you might say, question for you. Is it justifiable for celebrities to run for office even if they have no prior experience? So you've seen a lot of that.
Yes. You know what? Anyone can run for office. I mean, hello, hindi nga kailangan maging high school or college graduate ang presidente. So, right? It's free for all. So, I believe that, yes, they do have a right, but is it justifiable? Maybe not. If you have experience, sana meron silang prior history or at least a basic level of experience in public service, or at least knowledge on how the government works. It is not enough. And actually, for me, it's quite selfish and arrogant that they get into it other than real public service.
So you are aware that our country has suffered from a number of unqualified individuals running for office. So given this, how do we enhance the image of politics? Given the state of our nation today, like what can be done?
Oh, a lot can be done. I think just the pandemic alone opened a lot, a can of worms, diba? With how the government is handling the pandemic. You have all these organizations getting together recently. Like yesterday, there's 𝗠𝗿𝗵𝗵, meron yatang ganon. And hopefully lang everyone comes together, with one thing in mind, and that is to have a real, I don't want to say change because it's yun ang ginamit, diba? But we badly need at least a wake-up call, a transformation, a recharge, a re-energized state of political thinking. Kailangan mag-iba na tayo ng isip na hindi dahil kilala, magaling. Dahil hindi kilala, pag hindi kilala, hindi na magaling. Diba? That's it's so hard to do, but and with a short time, it's very much more difficult with the time that we have, but it can be done. Prayers lang. Kidding. But it can be done. I mean, with people who like you, first of all, register. Register, guys. Yung mga 18 ba? 18 is the voting mag-18, go ahead, register already. Nasa inyo talaga ang kinabukasan.
Oh, speaking of voting, since you had mentioned it already, can we blame Filipinos who are not as privileged as us in terms of educational attainment, for voting for those who are politically incompetent?
Yeah, yun nga, diba, there's the name recognition. Pinupukpok talaga, especially now, diba? Especially, you see tarpaulins all over already at this stage, diba? It's sad. I really don't know how to answer that. It's just sad that it's the way it is. But yun nga, grassroots, I think everyone now feels the effects of COVID. I think lives have, are changed because of the pandemic and how the government responded to the pandemic. 'Di ba? Nakikita na talaga yung ineptness or yung weakness ng gobyernong ito. So hopefully they translate that later on to their power to put someone more responsible and more capable to handle crisis like this.
We also have a medyo controversial and interesting question that just came in. So, in the recent happenings regarding Jen Barangan, who is a known TikTok icon who considers Harry Roque a friend, she had said that we should not politicize everything. So, to what extent should we extend our understanding and our compassion towards the apathetic or, close-minded people?
Like Jen. Jen is not close-minded. She's paid. I mean, she got paid for that content, I'm sure. I think. Hello. I'm sure she got paid for that. Someone got paid to do content like that. I don't think people are apathetic anymore. They're just not vocal. I think they feel it. They feel the effects of from the time na went into power because of sunod-sunod hindi naman tayo, kumbaga, di naman sila nagkulang sa mga issues. I mean, they've bumbled their way towards this pandemic. And I think people can see right through that. Kahit anong spin ang gawin nila. That's why they keep distracting us. But then, the way yung distraction naman nila, hindi rin naman nakakatulong sa buhay ng tao. We still remain, locked down. And, now we have 7,100 cases of COVID, the highest ever since we started the pandemic, ever since the pandemic started. A year in, diba? So, that alone, I don't think people are apathetic anymore or close-minded. They're just scared. Kasi nga, the administration is very, militarized everything. Even the crisis, even this health crisis, naging militarized. So, may takot. There's that culture of fear. So, I think when you go down to the ground, they have an idea already of what's going on na parang, parang mali na yata yung nito. Meron na pagkukulang ang administration.
You actually mentioned a while ago as well that it takes a lot for people in general, especially celebrities like you, to speak out about issues, especially if it's against the administration. So someone here has asked if you use any precautionary measures against red tagging?
Actually, someone called me and said na parang, na-mention na yata yung pangalan ko sa mga ganyan. And I'm not surprised, diba? But what can you do? What can I do? I just speak out. I'm just exercising my rights, diba? Yun lang naman ang sa akin. If people are asking me, aren't you scared? Yeah, a little bit, but hindi naman libelous ang sinasabi ko, diba? I don't say anything that is libelous. So, wala. I just, no. Yeah. I'm still here.
Do you think actors or personalities who are not exactly as brave as you are, do you think they just pick what issues are convenient or relevant to talk about, like those that resonate particularly with them?
And that's okay. 'di ba? May talagang ano yan comfort level talaga eh. As long as they speak out. Bale, depende, it doesn't, they don't have to speak. Like, I don't speak out in every issue that comes out, diba? So, very emotional yan eh. Very emotional yung speaking out there or taking a stand. You really have to have a firm stand, or you have to stand on a very strong foundation of what you believe in to be able to speak out. Diba? And if it resonates with them, some things like, diba, like si Liza, yung meron siya about Gabriela, yung ganon, she firmly believes in that. So yun yung kanyang stand. But she won't mention other issues as well, because that's her, she feels strongly about that. So sa akin, okay pa rin yun. They don't have to like speak out on all the issues that come up. Basta yung you feel strongly about dun. Okay sa akin yun, as long as you exercise that right.
So for celebrities to be able to speak out about certain issues, do you agree that they should be able to acknowledge certain privileges that they have, or like come to terms with stuff like that?
Sorry, can you say that again?
So for celebrities to be able to speak out about certain issues, do you think they need to come to terms with their privilege? Like they have to acknowledge that first?
I think they know they're privileged, or at least for the celebrities I'm following, alam naman nila they're not di naman kumbaga they are aware of their privilege, that they can speak this way. That's why yung iba, they take on different issues that they're comfortable with, diba? They might not, some, like si Angel Locsin, her heart is with the Lumats. Gusto niya yun. Others are women empowerment naman. Others are like that. So, yun nga, I guess comfort level, and sadly, talagang privileged yung pinanggagalingan ng celebrity, di ba? But then, we are easy targets also. Madaling balikan, madaling i-red tag kasi nga kilala. And that's why sina Angel and all of these women have been red tagged, because it will serve as a reminder na parang, guys, mga sikat to pero nare-red tag namin. Yung mga ganyan. Then it becomes yun nga, the culture of fear. They're spreading that kasi nga kung yung mga sikat nare-red tag, paano naman? Paano pa ako? Yung mga ganun. For the regular people. I hope I answered that.
So knowing that all of us are able to use media, especially social media, to influence society right now, what is the assurance that what we are able to propagate is actually lasting change and not just a farm band-aid solution?
Just persist. Wala, there is. Ngayon, you just do it. You just have to do it because it has to be done. Diba? No, dapat immediate, kailangan gawin because nga, there's a change of administration in less, almost a year. So, just persist lang. I believe that the job is not that difficult if we totally stand up for what we are fighting for. Mahirap lang naman yan kung hindi ka naniniwala. So, dun sa mga pinaglalaban mo. So, yun, just persist in resisting injustice, inequality, the imbalance of society. Tapos nasa sa inyo yan, kids. Kasi, 'di ba? Like me, I don't have kids. So sometimes I tell myself yung parang, why am I doing this, 'di ba? I can just retire in my farm and just not just say, "Naka, I'm okay." But then there's a thing inside me na kumakatok palagi na parang mali Agot mali yung ganon. So I do it. And I guess even the older, I don't like saying this, yung mga, kasi kami ng mga matatanda, yung ganon. But you see how all these mature, older people are still rallying, are still gung-ho in changing. Diba? That's for you guys. Sila, they can just retire and they can just, who doesn't want a quiet life? But hopefully there's a continuance of these resistance or these efforts, to make things go back to at least decent. Diba? Not anymore good. Doon pa lang tayo sa, sana medyo decente na lang tayo. So, yun. So, hopefully the youth can acknowledge that, can recognize that effort from the ones that are older than them and continue the fight, or at least the effort to make this world a better place. Yeah.
There's another question over here about the effect naman of social media in celebrity culture. So you had mentioned that the presence of social media comes with a perceived authenticity for certain figures who become famous. So do you think it makes it easier or more difficult for these figures to start a political career? Like, for example, the likes of McCoy Dubs or like Jam Magno. Do you think it will be easier for them to enter the world of politics because of their authenticity?
Or perceived authenticity? Yes. Easy, diba? Ano lang yan, now there are image or brand strategies that can actually create a plan, a whole plan, a whole plan of comms plans, how to, and all that. So yes, they can. But yun nga, we have to be critical and discriminating. Sino ba yung who's spewing, facts and who's spewing fake news. So just have to be critical about it. I mean, kung tayo yung end users, diba? It's so easy for people now to get into anything because of the speed of the celebrity process.
Actually, do you think that there is still such a thing as bad publicity?
Wala na. Publicity, di ba? Good or ganon. Yeah, so, you know what? Call me naive. Call me romantic. Pero talagang I totally believe that, people are innately good. So, hopefully, even if they pretend to be good, even if they're bad, hopefully later on they, come to the right senses and do good. Yeah, but yes, publicity-wise, for now, good publicity is bad publicity. There's no such thing as a bad publicity, diba? Good and bad publicity is still publicity. Yeah. Sadly. Yun nga. So, yun nga, sa akin parang, we have to be really discriminating and we have to know, finifilter natin yan eh. That's why so important to like look at the sources that you're reading. Dapat legitimate, dapat at least 5-6 covered 5-6 administrations yung ganun type, and not just be wary of what you watch on YouTube. Definitely Yon. And be wary also of the savior mentality.
So someone here actually asked through Mentimeter that they had said that you were actually considered by the Liberal Party to run for a seat in the Senate, which you had declined. So are you now considering entering politics, especially after
No.
everything that's happened? Okay. That was a fast answer.
Still not. Kasasabi ko lang, di ba, na parang kailangan may konting at least prior experience or at least knowledge of, kahit pa sabihin mong one sem into public administration, wala ako noon. So why would I get into it? Just because, di ba, there's brain, no, I'm not that. No. Still no.
Thank you so much for clarifying. So now that we've talked about how celebrities, like certain individuals, speak out, let's move on to something bigger. So someone here has asked, how come television networks are afraid to use their platforms to instigate the right kind of change? Wow. What are your thoughts on that question?
Well, news agencies, they have to remain, impartial. Kailangan balance, hindi sila dapat, But may mga opinions and all that, opinion writers and all that, medyo they can know their biases. But yung news outlets, they just have to report the news the way they see it, the way it happens, yung ganon. But especially now, I see that there's more pushback. I watch Matters of Fact and Head Start in the mornings. And since nawala na kami ng franchise, medyo tumapang yung tono ng mga newscaster, or the way they ask questions, they're not afraid anymore. Diba? Or they're very, very crafty in a way na parang, okay, they're asking the right questions, whereas others, hindi pa. So, I think because nga ABS-CBN has become, and Rappler they have become examples of what can happen if you if you go against the government. That's why medyo sila mabait, or they don't report it though, or they do report it but they forgo yung certain nuances that I think should be there. Kasi it's a matter also of interpretation.
Do you think it's true that media outlets use celebrity news to cover up political issues that happen?
I don't get that question. Parang, can you elaborate?
Well, this is just based on my interpretation. The person who sent it over did not really elaborate, but say that there's a controversial political happening in the Philippines, and instead of reporting about it, there are certain media outlets who would rather talk about like latest celebrity scandals, just to like skirt around that topic.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this admin is full of distraction, so they'll get their hands on anything just to distract them from the work that they are not doing. So yeah, maybe they do, or some celebrities they use sa mga YouTube channel may mga ganun yung mga they use their clout also to push the agenda of the other of the admin.
We also have a couple of questions coming up about Actor. So what can Actor do for next year's election? So do you have any internal rules about your members campaigning or endorsing a candidate? Like, is there a unified endorsement that's possible from your group or not?
No, we're not gonna be endorsing any one candidate. Pero on a personal level, on a personal basis, a capacity, pwede yon. But actor name will not be used. meron kaming rule din na parang if one of the officers are, or I think even a member, if they will run for public office or political position, they have to leave actor. So that para hindi kami impartial. Hindi kami partisan. But we will be active in voters, anything voter related, registration, education, and even during the voting process on May next year. So those are the things that we want to be involved with.
So what are the chances of Actor becoming a political group or a party list?
Nil. Zero. Zero. I mean, actor is for actors. Yun nga, so pag meron any one of us, meron siyang gustong habulin na office, do it on your own but leave actor. You can't use the organization.
A couple of participants are actually curious what exactly Actor does and what kind of reception you may have received from the entertainment industry already.
Actor is, we started out during the pandemic because nga nawalan kami ng trabaho. Hindi kami essential. Our industry is not essential. So maraming mga walang trabaho si ganyan, kailangan natin tumulong, ganyan. And then there was talk of going back to work when, mga May or something. And then they were drafting the protocols to go back to work kasi nga hindi pwedeng hindi na magtrabaho kasi nga nagugutom na yung mga tao. And so we were not, the IGA, meaning the Inter-Guild Alliance, didn't know who to talk to with regards to the actor group. The group of actors. There is a group, there is an organization for the actors, and apparently, pinuntahan nila pero walang nada, NR, no reaction. So we just, a group of us got together and sabi namin, kaya na have to have something already for our industry, for actors. Sabi ko, we pay a lot of taxes, but we're still non-essential. Wala tayong ayuda, wala tayong trabaho, and then parang hindi kami binibigyan ng importansya. So that's how it started, and so now we are part of the Inter-Guild Alliance. We are pushing for the Eddie Garcia bill to be passed already in the Senate. We are part of the talks nga with some bills also in Congress, yung freelance bill, and then there's the tourism film, whatever. So nice that there is an organization of actors that are represented finally, formally, and it's out there in public. Diba? What else? Did I answer your question?
So since you had mentioned that Actor has no plans of becoming a party list or a political group, we have another question. So is there an actor or actress that you respect as an actor or actress who you want to see enter politics?
I would like to see Angel Locsin in politics because she has the balls for it. I mean, she's hindi yan napapagod. Her heart is in the right place. Matapang siya. And she sincerely cares for people. So, yun. Tsaka transparent. Hindi yan ang authentic na tao. Yan yung totoong authentic. Pwede ba yun? Yung totoong authentic. Weird, di ba? Yeah, because what you see is what you get with her.
So do you know of any initiatives being taken by individuals, organizations, or institutions that educate Filipinos in the sense that they allow us to unlearn celebrity-centered attitudes, especially in the political arena?
Wala eh. You know, that will be part of voters' education. It should be there when you start educating the public. Now kasi I think the trust is for you know, for everyone to be registered lang, or for those who are to be registered, and then you educate them. So hopefully there is a program that will address that concern, because it is a concern, and we know that it will be used for the coming elections.
We know that media is going to play a big part in that stage, right? But what do you feel about how the media manipulates people to have certain political inclinations? Like, do you think that's helpful or destructive?
The media has, sorry,
Like, media has the power to manipulate people to have certain political inclinations. Like, what do you feel about that?
they will yeah, they will use media meaning what do you say, media traditional or digital, or the new media, or both?
The person who asked also did not elaborate. So you can speak on either or both if you'd like.
Well, sa traditional, whoever pays highest. It is a business after all. I mean, they have to keep all those networks open, di ba? So whoever pays will get the media mileage, di ba? Yun naman. So for social media, depending yan eh. You know, I'm still wishing that there is a groundswell of people who are, who'll speak out and who'll take it, hard to say take it to the streets because we can't do that, diba? Yung because of the COVID nga. So, or somehow have initiative to actually do to get it going already. Sana. It's hard because of the pandemic. Talagang para tayong naka-mask. You're not free to talk. Yung ganong type, 'di ba? Or you're not free to do anything. Naka-lockdown. I mean, this really works for them. I think for the admin, for the people in power. And they do have the bulk of money.
One of the people actually who asked here on Mentimeter had cited a Rappler investigative article which highlighted how celebrities are paid by an agency to share posts that favor the administration. So how can celebrities and their teams be more vigilant when they're offered to share such content?
I think now they are. Lumabas na eh, di ba? I'm quite surprised with the names, no? Because I know them personally and yun nga. But I think it's the management kasi. It's their management who did the dealings with them. So now, celebrities should be careful and should tell their managers or their management teams na parang wag naman. Ibigay na nila, kumbaga, unless they believe it, 'di ba? Then fine. Pero kung hindi, wag na silang magpagamit. I think yun nga. So I think they are more careful now, lending their names or lending their accounts to whoever, or deals into, 'di ba? Alam mo 'yun, yung parang sana no more deals will be made with regards to their accounts.
Actually, someone here has sent in a question and name dropped a couple of celebrities. So yesterday, the president met with Willie Revillame, apparently for possible plans in 2022. And Pacquiao, Isko Moreno were also some of the names that were mentioned as possible candidates. So what do you think we as non-celebrities, what can we do at this point regarding this news?
be aware of steps that they are taking, be aware of, alam mo yun, kumbaga, subaybayan natin ang mga ginagawa nila. Because all of that are talagang are leading up to the elections. And research, do the research, keep your ears, eyes open. If you see something that does not sit well with you, call it out, di ba? Yun nga, just make sure that your sources are legitimate. Yun, just be vigilant. There is no, wala naman tayong other way to do it, but just to be vigilant. And I think that's the way things have to be done at this point. Hindi na pwede yung parang wala naman akong magagawa eh. It's always that's always a comment with me kasi parang kasi ikaw agot celebrity ka eh. Di ba meron kang you have the platform. It's like no, you just call it out, di ba? Hindi if it doesn't sit well with you, then just call it out. Even if there's just one person or two or three or four followers, just make it known that this is your stand. I mean, even for your peace of mind. I mean, how can you let it slide? Things like that. How can you let it slide? It means it's okay with you, and that's what they want. That for you, that your silence means it's okay with you. So it's very important that we actually make our thoughts, our opinions known, so that collectively, if we have enough, and it's been done, di ba? Pag merong lumabas sa Twitter na ganyan, and then everyone gangs up on them, sometimes they take a step back. Eh. So, yes, your voice matters.
Actually, some of our next questions are related to that. A lot of people have been asking how you deal with bashers and what your attitude is so that you don't end up being affected big time, as it says here.
Oo. Actually, well, wala na ngang effect sa akin eh. Siguro in the beginning yan, no? Parang, but my post was 2016, so I've been doing this for 5 years. So parang medyo, I kind of know when to engage, when not to engage. I've blocked 3,600 accounts on Twitter. And there are precautions naman. Meron namang mga steps on Twitter for you to, to keep your sanity so that you don't see they mute words, block people, or hide them. Yung mga ganon. There are those safety precautions that you can take. Honestly, I don't know. Wala eh. You know what? Wala pa akong nami-meet na tao, person to person, saying na, I don't like what you're doing. Or, ikaw ha, bakit mo ginaganyan si ano ha? Yung ganun, wala. None. Everyone, not everyone, but most of the people who come up to me na stranger from nowhere while I'm shopping or grocery, nasa ganyan lang, they're saying, Agot, oh my God, thank you for speaking up. It's always like that. So that gives me courage, that gives me encouragement, that gives me more reason to speak out because nga, this, it's, and then it's always like, kami hindi kasi kami. That's when I say, no, you have to, at least say your piece, someone there will read it and then will resonate with them. And yun lang. Parang, I don't believe that they're, that they're louder than us. I think we are louder than them.
What would your advice be to someone who has a hard time being hopeful for the country because of what's happening in our political arena?
Bilog ang mundo. It's a cycle. I guess we have to go through it, and hopefully, I'm very hopeful. I'm an optimist, especially with things like this. I mean, there's no way but to go up, but up, diba? these days. So I'm very hopeful. If it doesn't happen in the near future, it will happen. We just have to persist. We just have to stand our ground. We just have to keep speaking out. And it's gonna happen. It's a matter of time, but it will happen. So, yun lang, just kapit lang, and if it's not good anymore for your mental health, step back. Don't alam mo yon, don't engage. Uh, Delete your app from your phone, 'di ba? Yung mga regulate your use of social media kasi nakakabaliw din talaga minsan. Pero don't lose hope. You know, it's the tides will turn soon, hopefully.
Someone has actually sent in something that isn't a question, but I feel like this person speaks on behalf of everyone who's watching right now. They just want to let you know that you inspire us so much and we admire your courage. May God
Oh,
be with you and may God protect you. So yeah, that's what it actually says. So yeah, I
thank you.
agree personally.
Oo. And then I'm into podcast now nga. So since I'm off social media, I've been also meditation ganyan kasi nga medyo nakakaloka na yung mga pangyayari. So I go in. Pag ganyan talaga, I go in. So nag-meditate ako and I'm, listen to podcasts and everything. And this morning, I listened to Isabel Allende. She's yung The House of Spirits. She's an author. She's a Chilean author, but she's a Latin American author. And then she said, there's one uh, sentence that she said, yung parang, unless you are tested, meaning tested, maraming difficulties or obstacles or whatever that come your way, unless you are tested, how do you know who you are? Diba? Ang ganda. Kasi parang we have to go through this for us to know the kind of person we are. Parang ano siya, parang you have to go through the fire. 'Di ba? You have parang it's parang yung sand nilagay mo sa fire, nagiging glass, that kind of thing. So just hold on to the hope, hold on to your values, stand your ground, guys, and don't be afraid to speak up. If there are more of us speaking out, then it will be louder, and then the courage will be collective, will be stronger.
Those are actually all the questions that we have for you. But thank you so much, Miss
Thank you
Agot.
also. I
You have
hope
really
meron kayong nakuha o hindi kayo naguluhan sa akin. Sometimes, my thoughts are just rushing, and then my mouth couldn't keep up. So sorry about that.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. We feel like you have truly graced us with your presence this evening. Hopefully, everything you said inspires all of us to remain involved in the current state of affairs in an intelligent and constructive manner. So I know that all of us will be walking away from this talk with a lot to think about and much to work on. So yes.
Thank you. Kayo ang pag-asa ng bayan according to Rizal.
Actually, to show our gratitude, we would like to award you with this e-certificate. I think it's supposed to be on the slides as well. Yes. There it is. It's the text is quite small, so I can just read it for you. So, this certificate of appreciation is sincerely presented to Ms. Agot Isidro for sharing her valuable knowledge as a guest speaker during SOCSI 180 AQ3's The Media and Politics Forum, which took place on March 19, 2021 on Zoom.
Thank you! Salamat! So ano yan, i-laminate. Laminate! Napakaluma. Laminate ko na. Thank you so much. I had fun. And guys, just keep attending these things. It's fun. I mean, knowledge is good. Knowledge is power.
Actually,
More power to you.
Oh, sorry. Before we wrap things up, I would just like to request that we have a photo of, just to commemorate this very iconic moment for all of us. So, I'd like to request everyone to turn on their cameras. No pressure though, only if you like, so that one of our moderators can take a picture. Moderator, you can give the 1, 2, 3 go if you're there.
Gallery, ayan. Wow, now I can see your faces. Is this a required activity? Yes, it is.
Okay, so smile. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
actually
you.
marks the end of tonight's program. So thank you again so much, Ms. Agot. This means everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
you. And to everyone as well who attended, thank you. I hope everyone has a restful weekend up ahead. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Agot.
Bye, Surgeon. Thank you.
Let's draft Angel na.
Ha?
Let's draft Angel for the Senate.
Alika na. Oh, di ba? Siya talaga eh. Siya nakikita ko eh.
Thanks again.
Yeah, I'll leave na. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hope to see you soon.
Yep, see you.
Bye, guys.